I knew the police considered the student a runaway. They were dragging their feet, expecting him to return at any moment. The other hiker was a young mother that lived in a nearby community. According to her husband, she'd gone out on her usual morning jog, zigzagging around their neighborhood, but never returned. After the police discovered the wife had recently confronted her husband over an affair, he'd become their prime suspect in a murder investigation. They were currently looking for her body beneath the foundation of a house his company had just built on the south side of Chicago. After cracking her cloud-based browser history, Stacy found the wife had recently researched the northern loop of the park. She'd probably gotten bored with her usual route and wanted more time away from her husband. Both had come to the park, took the very trail we paralleled, looking for signs of their passing or demise. So far, nothing. Josh didn't share my confidence, but it was the best lead we had. "If the Balaka was here," Josh stressed, "I doubt it stuck around. Striking here a third time would be foolish." The secluded trail wasn't popular, but the trickle of foot traffic was regular. People often came here to be alone. It was fertile hunting ground. If the Balaka was careful with its kills, it could hunt in these woods for some time before it drew too much attention. My brother's doubts were understandable. He didn't think like a predator. A pall settled over him, weighing on the silence between us. He'd been gloomy lately, irritable and short-tempered. Cognizant of my occasionally overbearing concern, I'd not asked the obvious question. "What the hell is wrong with you?" I had some idea, but this wasn't the time for a brotherly chat. I hoped Josh shared my sensibility. "How long have you known?" he muttered, emphasizing his disappointment with an accusatory look, like I'd just cut him to the quick. I knew I'd hurt his feelings. The Ducati Monster 1200S I'd bought him was meant to soothe his anger. What the hell says sorry more than an $18,000 motorcycle? The gift had done its job for just over a week. I sighed, debated whether to answer. Stephen had drifted farther away, his attention fixed on a game trail. "Claudia informed me after my grandmother's death," I admitted. She'd handed me a death sentence. Unanimous agreements among the supernatural factions were extremely rare. Only a true threat to us all could bring the factions together. The powerful magic of the Dark Elves, delivering death with a touch, had posed such a threat. The factions, the Pack included, had responded with genocide, survival instinct at its cruelest. The Dark Elves were supposed to be extinct. They weren't. Unbeknownst to me, Dark Elf blood ran through my veins, passed down from my father's maternal lineage. He'd died when I was young, and my grandmother, the last surviving member of his family, had carried the secret to her grave. I couldn't blame her. Had her identity been discovered, all of the factions would have joined once again to kill her, to kill me. As a child, I'd known my grandmother to be distant, cold, unaffectionate. I knew now that she lived in fear of her magic. I knew that horror firsthand. At her death, I'd inherited the dark elf magic in a fiery rush. Before I could gain a modicum of control, I'd nearly killed Sky with it. I looked to Josh, grateful for once that we were only half-brothers. We shared the same mother but had different fathers. He'd been spared my curse. "Claudia knew as well," he confirmed, throwing glances around the forest to hide the hurt. "Of course she did. It's quite a secret to keep. Do you blame her?" There were layers to that question. It wasn't her secret to tell. My grandmother tried to tell me at the end, but she'd waited too long. She'd lost too much of her mind. Once she died, the secret became Claudia's. "I could have helped you deal with the magic. There was nothing you—" "Don't!" He glared at me, a hot warning. He was right. When it came to magical abilities, my brother was second to none, but there were other considerations. "You know why I didn't tell you," I growled. "To protect me?" He rolled his eyes. "You need a new song, Ethan. That Sesame Street record is worn out." He knew damn well that anyone harboring a dark elf would be punished, probably killed. The moment I'd told him my secret, he would have been bound to reveal me. He was bound now.